I've always heard that if you masturbate or have sex during your period, it can help end your period sooner. Can, not will. And I tried out this week. I even like put it into my fucking schedule. I was like, masturbate ×2.
Have I ever had an embarrassing moment or shame surrounding my menstrual cycle? Growing up, for sure, embarrassing moments happened almost every other day on my period because I would bleed through my pants, trying to figure out what it is I need to do or don't do. Shame surrounding it was never a shameful thing. Like, I feel like everyone around me knew that it's a natural thing for a woman to go through. And till this day, 27 years old, I still feel that way with everyone that I'm around. Like, they understand. I know girls who they're like in their 30s and they're just like very, very conservative about it. But I've never been that way. I feel like it's a part of life that everyone just needs to accept.
I think she didn't have a pad or a tampon, so she went to the bathroom and got some toilet paper. She was wearing very cute flowy shorts. I don't think that her underwear supported that tissue enough. You know that shit could just slide right out. It's so thin.
For sure.
You know? It fell out.
Damn, that's pretty devastating.
It was bad. We had like some bleachers where we sat in the class, and then there was a stage. It was before class started, so everyone was in the bleachers speaking, and she was down on the stage part talking to someone. No one noticed but me. No one noticed but me, and I jumped up and just jumped poop right on top of the toilet paper that had a little blood on it, and it was right next to her. So I just like leaned on her, and she kind of looked at me funny like, what's going on? And I was like, the toilet paper fell out. We have to find a way to move so no one sees it. So then she just like holds on to me. She just wrapped her arms around me because she didn't know what else to do.
She was devastated.
She was
scared to death.
Just didn't know what to do. So I was like, all right. So
Ay,
we were maybe like 5 feet away from the trash can in front of the door. So then the bell rings. Everybody goes to sit down, and we're still standing in the middle of the stage holding each other. So everyone's looking at us like, is this a scene? What's happening? So then I was like, just glide slowly. So we just slowly started moving towards the door, like inching our feet so we keep the toilet paper underneath our feet.
Oh my God.
And then we slowly, as we were holding each other like this, slowly went down, like grabbed it from underneath his feet, slowly got up, and then threw it in the trash so no one could see. And then we got back up and casually walked back to our seats like weirdos. And everyone was like, what the fuck was happening? I'm so glad, universe, that we were in acting class, because they were just like, was that a performance? It would have been the worst first year of college.
I remember like just being scared about how painful my periods were. And like, it wasn't shame or embarrassment. It was fear that, something was really wrong, but that like I was just being over dramatic with my period pain.
I've always been really open about these things. Even when I was in like middle school, I was never trying to like hide my tampon. I was always, hey, I need to go to the bathroom. I have my tampon. I don't know. It's just maybe a personal thing. But I do remember having extreme amounts of like anxiety, worrying that my period would bleed through my pants or something, and someone would see it. Like a guy would be like, oh, Kylie. I'm like, oh, you sat in something. I'm like, fuck, that's my period. It never happened, luckily for me, thankfully, but that was definitely something that would always worry me about, like going to someone's house, making sure you have enough like tampons, waking up in the middle of the night to change your tampon. So yeah, that's about it. But I know that it is a huge source of shame and embarrassment and anxiety for a lot of women too, which we need to stop treating it like that.
There was a little bit of shame when I first got my period, and I don't know if that was because of the reaction that boys had in our health class to periods. So it just seemed like gross. Yeah, everybody thinks it's gross. It must be gross. But I'm learning at 30 years old that it's not gross and it's totally natural. So I think that's something we all should work on, is normalizing periods, because wow, what could be more normal, really? I had a guy ask me once why I was shaming myself because I said I didn't want to have sex. I was on my period. And I thought, he's so right. I shouldn't feel ashamed. I still don't want to have sex with you, but I don't feel ashamed because this is my body and this is what it does in order to create life. So that's cool. Not gross. Thank you for the lesson. Good luck finding somewhere to put your dick.
I can't remember like the sequence of events. I just remember getting up from the couch and I had bled on their fucking couch.
Fuck.
I had blood on their couch.
Oh my god, what color was the couch? Was it a light colored couch?
No, actually, it was a little lighter than this, but it was like, you know, Hispanics, we having that like that shit, you know.
I know what you're
You know
talking
exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Everybody knows like a Hispanic that has that type of couch, and
I
it was
forgot.
that with that woven different
Colors.
colored fucking fabric.
Alrighty, so last question is if I have any advice. So my advice that I have is going to be this thing right here. It's called a disc. I know some people are familiar with like the new thing of a cup, a Diva cup. So that's kind of like an upgraded version for it. You put it in there, you leave it in for about 10-12 hours. You do your thing. You go on about your day. You use the bathroom, you have sex, you work out, you go to the pool, and you forget it's even there. If this was around when I started my period, I definitely would have hopped onto it because it's helped me in regards to my pain management and my flow. It's regulated my flow by a ton. I've been using it for 2 years now, and yeah, highly recommend it. The company that I use is called Flex, and there's also Soft Disc, and you could definitely find them at any of your local Targets. Bye.
If you feel like your periods are just absolutely debilitating, talk to a doctor if you have the ability to and get checked out, because I not only found out that that's what I have, but I also found out that because it attaches to a portion of my lung, it affects my breathing. The reason it affects my breathing is because a portion of my lung collapses every single time that I'm about to get my period, and that's where that pain comes from when I inhale, and it's why I can't inhale fully. So listen to your body and trust your instincts and talk to your doctor and fight for yourself.
Look into working out in some sort of a way.
Great advice.
Yeah, because I'm an athlete, just born that way, straight out of the womb.
So I have 4 pieces of advice for anyone that menstruates. And this is something that I've actually been focusing on a lot recently, so I'm glad that you asked. But there's a few things. 1, use a Diva cup or a Moon cup. Use a menstrual cup to collect your blood if you're able to, rather than tampons, which we know have so many different chemicals and bleach, and your vagina is extremely absorbent. Whatever you put in there goes into your bloodstream. Also, tampons and pads are a massive source of waste, and there's a luxury tax on that, which is utter bullshit, sexist bullshit. So if you use a cup, it's very helpful. It's great for if you're doing things like going camping. It's reduces your waste. It's healthier for you and a great option. I totally suggest it. Second thing is normalize period sex. I get super horny when I'm on my period, and I've been lucky that all my partners have always been enthusiastic about having period sex with me. But have period sex, and if not, masturbate. I've always heard that if you masturbate or have sex during your period, it can help end your period sooner. Can, not will. And I tried out this week. I even put it into my fucking schedule. I was like, masturbate ×2. And what happens is when you have an orgasm, it contracts the walls. So basically it releases a lot of that sloughing, your period blood, and can help to speed up the period of your process. I masturbated twice in a day, and then about an hour later I had more blood, and my period has been so light ever since. So normalize period sex, have period sex, masturbate when you're on your period. And then the third thing is download this app called Flow, F-L-O. I'm really, really bad at understanding my body. Like, I have to consciously think, why am I acting this way? instead of being like, oh, I'm on my period, I'm acting this way because it's just hard for me to kind of like conceptualize my own body and be in tune. I wish I was better. But Flow allows you to track everything about your period, and it prompts you and gives you all this amazing advice. And there's these kick-ass chats with all these women talking about like sex and toys and period and like social stigmas and relationships. And it's been amazing. I felt like I had one more piece of advice, but I can't remember. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks, guys.
2 pieces of advice. Weed is the best thing for cramps. Seriously, eat it. You don't have to smoke it. You can put it on like topically, rub it on your skin. You don't have to feel high at all. It always helps better than pills. Motrin doesn't do it for me. I also highly recommend trying out menstrual cups because tampons suck and they're bad for you, they're bad for the planet, they're bad for your wallet. I love not having to think about my period, and for the most part, when I have a cup in, I don't think about it. It is a lot easier, less to worry about. But yeah, normalize periods.
And she taught me, don't go for the Tylenol off rip. That's where I probably get that like hippie shit from, like that holistic, the beginning. It's about to go down.
Bitch, no, I pop, as soon as I see a little bit of pink, I pop like 4 ibuprofen. That's real. Because the pain is so terrible, I'm not even giving it a chance to kick in. You're not, no. It's
not
so
gonna take
bad.
Me. You're not going to take me.
It's so
She's like, good luck, bitch.